Fish? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I was like 5 years old eating whole fish like this.
Dude, how?
A bigger pot.
Oh, because I don't want to washing this
Together.
and then I could
I didn't hear any of this.
exactly
I literally just heard, I heard a lot of sound.
even like earbuds that I cool.
Where to?
I'm all good with whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and honestly,
Seems like the focus for
I
this
think
project.
the truth is like,
Basically, I've done like machine learning. I've done like so there was like that included like hypothesis testing.
and they do work for them. Like really, that's kind of, I feel like that's how they all kind of design. Some of them are really like, maybe an individual has a thing. A couple of weeks, we're just gonna be like organizing the.
We take our seat at 148 at a table. It doesn't look like it's quite as great about. We do want to build this pot. Our main flop, we go straight to 2 fours. First flop comes out Jack 10-9.
I'll just get one back. We don't really find all this, but user, let's get all the sticky things we want.
Oh no!
Are you using the glass noodles?
No, I'm using the hot noodles. I'm sure you can.
I just love the glass noodles.
Yeah, they're good. Usually glass noodles is used for like the thin sauces or like cold noodles.
Two.
One. Oh,
I was just gonna eat the table sauce.
a liter.
Oh fuck, I forgot to make my tea.
Is it cooking? This is a little.
This is what I asked you earlier about the separate pot thing, and you just like waved me off like I was stupid. I was like, what? I don't know. Well, after you're done, I'm just gonna dump this in there. I thought it was hot enough on the first scoop because it looked like it was good. I was like, let's go. But now it kind of doesn't look like it's cooked. I thought I sliced it pretty thin.
Oh, hot. Not sweet at all.
Yeah, you have to add a lot of sugar.
Oh dang.
That's how much you add. That's how much you gotta add. You just never knew. Tastes good enough to me. I don't know how to cut it thinner than this. When I was cutting it, it was pretty damn thin. Like, show me, bro.
Was it half frozen? Or
Yeah, I put it in the freezer for like 45 minutes. And that, would you rate it? Would you rate the first time pho by the third son?
We're talking like first time standards, all time pho rating. I think like 6 for this. A little above average.
Honestly, 6 for first time. It's not even bad.
It's like pho.
It does taste like pho.
More salt, more mustard powder.
Yeah, I feel like if I just added a shit ton of that, you'd be like, oh my god, it's an 8 out of 10. Okay, this is coming from a person with Asian background. Asian pho standards. This means this would qualify to someone else.
Now my window of time working is very small.
Assess your weight loss. You thought it was stress. You thought it was lymphoma.
I think we've seen all of